Hey YouTube, this is Dolan. Today, before I start this review, I just want you to know that I'm not gonna be able to make any videos during next week, cause I'm going away on vacation next week until either Friday night and until either next Friday or next weekend at least next weekend. I mean. So I'm not going to be able to make any videos for you guys during the week for next week. But I will at least make sure I remember to I don't know, but I do know that if you want to keep yourselves occupied, you could at least watch my videos that are currently on the channel, at least until I'm ready to make more videos. But anyway, enough about this important announcement that I have to make. And today, I'm gonna review the original Nintendo Game Boy. So, what is this thing? Let me move this stuff out. Well, it's Nintendo's wildly popular handheld console of all time. It's sure it may look bulky looking, but not too bad actually. Sure, it may shape like a brick, but it's still comfortable to hold it with two hands easily, whether you're a kid or an adult like me. The build quality is pretty in good condition actually. I'm certainly glad I got this because this thing is certainly in good condition. Although I didn't get much with it other than the Game Boy itself. But the only thing I got with this is batteries, which I'll show you in just a moment. It's got the usual D-pad, select and start, which are made of rubber, and the B and A button. Now this thing is kind of like having a mobile NES though. That's the reason why it's sold well. Now it wasn't necessarily the first console to use cartridges, but the first one to make such a big impact in portable gaming history. And supposedly, Nintendo had the home console market locked down with the NES and decided to shift their focuses on the handheld market. In 1989, they released this thing in North America, and it instantly sold well. It was around $89.99. The price was $89.99, which is pretty awesome actually. I got mine for a cheaper price than this, which was an absolute steal actually. And surprisingly, this thing does work pretty good, as I'll show you in just a moment. But anyway, it's got the labels on off right here. Now instead of the switch being on the side, it's on top, which I'll turn on in just a moment. On this side, it's got this cover, which is kind of a pain in the butt to take off. Like, you really gotta... Oh, I somehow got it. Taking off this piece, and that's where the extended connector goes. Like some kind of link connection to link two Game Boys together, so that way two players can compete in, say, Pokemon Red or Blue, which I'll show you in just a moment, or even Tetris. Now I don't have the extension cable for it, but I'll show you on the next video. I may not be able to get another Game Boy for it, but I'll just show you what the cable looks like at least, and show how it plugs into the Game Boy. It's got a volume dial. Now, the sound isn't all that loud. It's got a speaker right here, which I forgot to mention. It even says here Nintendo Game Boy. It's got a battery/light indicator, indicating the system is turned on and its battery life. And it says dot matrix with stereo sound. And underneath it's got the word phones. And that's the headphone jack, where you would plug in your earbuds to hear the sound coming from your Game Boy. It's got a rounded corner, I gotta say. Other than that, this thing is kind of shaped like a brick, but it's lighter than a brick. It's got a contrast knob, an DC 6-volt adapter jack. On the back, here's on top towards the back. This is where the cartridges would go. And then this compartment holds 4 AA batteries, which is kind of not too bad, but this thing may seem like a battery hog though, but it's not too bad actually. Like, I'm sure people will be happy to play this for a while. Just as long as you have batteries that are fully loaded with juice, that's not a problem. Even on the back shows you the model number. Shows you the patented date, 1989 Nintendo. Made in Japan as usual. The patent is still pending. It even mentions the battery sum rating, the volt rating. And this is where the on-off switch is. Now, if you turn it on, guess what? It has a thing that blocks the cartridge from being removed from the thing while it's turned on. Anyway, but I will show you the game, which I got separately before I got this, that you first get when you first get the Game Boy. Let me put it down for a sec. I'll talk about this on another video. Here's what the Game Boy here's what the Game Boy comes packed in when you first get it. It comes packed with Tetris, which I think is, I'm not sure if it's an official Nintendo title, but it does have the Nintendo logo on there. And it's official Game Boy Video Link Game Boy. Oh yeah, that symbol, that logo here means you can play 2 players on this game, which is pretty cool. Made in Japan. The sticker looks, the title is identical to its NES counterpart. Now, regarding its game library, there were some amazing exclusive titles such as Link's Awakening, which alone made it worth it. And there's even a Game Boy exclusive game called Pokemon Red and Blue, which I'll show you right about now. Like, here's Pokemon Red and Blue, which I'll talk about on another video. Now, anyway, sorry, I'm not reading off a script, so bear with me. So anyway, here's Pokemon Red and Blue. They're practically the same game, just with different Pokemon, which I'll discuss on another video. I kind of like the form factor of these cartridges. But most of the games are like step-down versions of NES titles and some step-down versions of arcade games. Now, I know this cartridge may not be in the best shape because a little piece came off, but broke off, but don't worry. It still works either way. But it does plug in like so. And I'll show you what the graphics look like on this thing. Right about now. Oh, sorry, hold on, let me fix this. Oh, note to everyone, do not always blow in the cartridge. Sorry, I gotta get this thing going for the video. Guys, stand by. We may have a problem here. So stand by on this video, and I promise you I'll get this thing working as soon as I can. Oh no. Hang on. Now, here's what the Game Boy looks like when you boot it up. It has the word Nintendo coming down on the screen, and it shows and that's pretty much it. You can even adjust the contrast like this, which this contrast is more reasonable. Now, you may still need a reasonable amount of light to. Unfortunately, you still need a reasonable amount of light to see the screen. I adjusted the lights on my lamp so that way I can show you. Now, that's what the graphics look like. Now, I'm not going to talk about this game. I just want to show you what the graphics look like, just so that way you get the idea. So, yeah, like I said, there's this game, Tetris, which will also be a version on the NES, which I'll talk about on another video. There's Pokemon Red and Blue, like I said earlier. Tetris Plus, which is a Game Boy exclusive title. And it does say that it uses the Super Game Boy capability graphics, which I'll talk about on another video. Game & Watch Gallery 3, which the sticker looks badly fading away for some reason. I can still read it though, which is a good thing. Super RC Pro-Am. Pokemon Yellow, even though the cartridge it has a rip on the sticker, unfortunately, and its sticker looks kind of dirty, but otherwise works just fine. Tennis. Dr. Mario, which there'll also be a version on the NES and the N64, which I'll talk about those two on another video entirely. Super Off-Road, which is the sticker looks identical to the NES version now I think about it. Tetris 2, similar to the NES. Toy Story 2, which I'm not sure if it's a good game or not. Super Breakout, which I assume is similar to Atari Super Breakout, but this one's published by Majesco Sales Inc. Now here's a hint on who Majesco is. Majesco used to publish this game back in the day. They're still around today actually, and they usually re-release games but with permission from the original publisher. And you even get instruction manuals with black letters and black and white pictures and black letters. And black text. They only re-release games, but with permission from the original publisher, by the way. Now, going back to the Game Boy library, there's also Tetris DX. F1 Race, which the cartridge itself is in worse shape than the Tetris one. Otherwise, I'm sure this game works just fine. Hot Wheels Stunt Track Driver, which I'm not sure if it's a good game or not, but I'm sure I liked it. Back then, I would have loved that game when I was a child. I used to love Hot Wheels a lot. I think I still do, but For me to relive these games, like these Hot Wheels cars, I just play their video games whenever I feel like it. There's Pac-Man, which is personally one of my favorite ports of Pac-Man, but I play it on the Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Color. And Black Bass Lure Fishing, which I honestly don't know how to play. Now, these are the only Game Boy games that I have that will work with this system, but there are a bunch more that I don't have, like Link's Awakening, like I mentioned earlier, or Wario Land, or even Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Land, I think. But anyway, so, just to show you, did the Game Boy sell well despite its monochrome graphics? Well, yes, it did. In fact, it did become Nintendo's most... It is considered Nintendo's giant in handheld gaming. And competitors stood little chance. And the competition was fierce. There was Atari Lynx, amongst others. NEC made a handheld, which is called the Turbo Express, which I'll talk about in another video. And the closest competitor was Sega, with their Sega Game Gear, which all those other three consoles, handhelds, which I'll talk about in another video. So anyway, cementing this console is the best thing ever. So cementing it is considered the best console ever made. Eventually, this thing was succeeded by a slimmer option called the Game Boy Pocket, which is a more slimmer model of this thing, which can easily fit in your pocket, and it looks transparent. They come in a variety of different colors like blue, yellow, red, or green. There's even one transparent. I could have gotten those in those colors, but I only decided to get this gray one, just to give you the idea of what the original Game Boy was like. Although I could have gotten these other colors, but other than that, I think this version of the original Game Boy might be worth having. Worth reviewing, just to give you guys the idea of what it's like when it first came out. But anyway, other than this, yeah, in conclusion, this may not be a console worth owning in today's standards, since the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy Advance came out. But most likely the Game Boy Advance replaced it entirely. But it wasn't discontinued until 2003, where it rolled off production in 2003. I didn't even think this thing lasts long, but apparently it did. So anyway, still subscribe to this channel, and like the video, and if you like the Game Boy, like the original Game Boy. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video. Either being Friday night, either I'll make one Friday night or next weekends. I promise I'll make a new video as soon as I'm back. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for understanding. And sorry for the inconvenience. So anyway, this is me signing off.